This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Welcome back, everyone. I've got some awesome stuff I want to share with you guys today, but real quick before we get going, I do want to make an announcement. Many of you have asked me about upcoming zine workshops, and I have just announced 2 that will be coming up. We've got a session that will be happening in June and another one in September of this year. Now, if you're not familiar with zine workshops, these are project-based and I teach them online. So they take place once a week over the course of a month. And so we do these on Zoom, and week 1, 2, we will meet as a class, and week 3 is probably my favorite part of this whole thing. Week 3, we divide into small groups. And so at that point, you're probably going to have some progress made on your project, and we will get together. You will have me review it as well as your colleagues. This is a really inspiring thing to do. It really is one of my favorite parts of teaching this entire class. And at the end of the month, you will have a zine or a small book or whatever project you choose to do. So if you've got something in mind, this is probably an awesome opportunity to get going. I will put a link in the show description if you want to learn more, so please check it out. But without further ado, let's get to some of your work. Okay, so first up, and I love it when projects like this come in, this is a massive book. This comes to us from Ari Rossner, who is a photographer based in Paris. This is called The Indians, which sums up a project that he spent about 20 years on traveling to India. This is awesome. I'm going to read you a little of his note here, which he says, "Dear Ted, I have been waiting for the moment when I could finally share with you my own book, The Indians. A self-edited 464-page portrait book developed over the last 20 years traveling across India. The scale of this book reflects the scale of the country itself. India, now the most populous country in the world, could not be appreciated through a compact or single narrative. What moved me and inspired me on this project was the joyful energy and the positive values rooted in Indian society, an ancient humanity from which there is much to learn. At the heart of this work is a simple intention that matters deeply to me: to present these people you would not normally meet as if you had met them yourself. The portraits are made at close distance with a direct smiling gaze into the camera. In photography, as an art more generally, smiling faces are surprisingly rare, and I wanted to go against that quote-unquote rule and show how these smiles as they occurred without staging. This book is mostly composed of anonymous faces. Alongside them are a few personalities whose work has had a positive impact on Indian society. Throughout the years, I continued to receive commissions in beauty and advertising photography in Paris and London, alternating with trips to India. That contrast between the two worlds shaped both the way I photographed and the way that the book eventually came together. I hope that you will appreciate it. Warm regards, Ari." So Ari, this is probably one of the most ambitious undertakings that I've ever received in the history of mail time. It's also one of the biggest books. I am really thrilled that you saw this to the end. It was worth it. This is awesome. There really isn't much that I'm going to add to this because you clearly know what you're doing. I do want to make a couple notes, though, that I think others can take away from. First of all, the printing quality on here is absolutely outstanding. This is beautifully done. Paper selection, I don't know who you used for a printer, but this is very well put together. And as for the work itself, and I think this is an important distinction, and you made this in your note, that you wanted to go for people who were smiling and you wanted to maintain that sense of intimacy that people viewing this book are going to get through the lens and see in these photographs, and you clearly did that. I love that this isn't staged, and I love that it is very loose feeling. I love that it's very natural. You really get the sense that you're just hanging out with people that you know, even though you don't know them, and I think it has a really cool effect. It's also interesting and noteworthy that you talk about the commercial work that you were doing in Paris and London. I am positive that this was a huge escape for you. I think one of the things that I want to say about a project like this, and I encourage all photographers to find their subject, the fact that you were drawn to India, that is a place that you felt at home clearly, and that you felt near the people, that is very reflective in this work. This is not something that was done overnight, and I realize that. This is 20 years of work, but it's very cohesive. It doesn't look like it was taken over 20 years. It looks like it was just taken. I really absolutely love this, and I hope that other photographers can find a way to find their subject and something that they gravitate towards and stick with it that long. I think that's something that's really important. And especially if you're working as a photographer, and I'm already pretty sure you know this too, is that sometimes that escape is really what makes you feel complete as a photographer. Anyway, man, this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry this took me a few months to get to. We've had a backlog of stuff, but this is absolutely beautiful. And I will link this up if you guys are interested in getting a copy. This is highly recommended. The shipping won't be cheap because it's awfully heavy, but you'll get a good workout when you're checking it out. But beautifully done, man. Awesome work. All right, so we're going to contrast that now only in terms of size. This is a beautiful handmade little book that comes to us from Ingo Hampe. He also enclosed a note. He writes, "Dear Ted Forbes, I'm an admirer of the art of photography, and your videos about work that matters has left a lasting impression on me, and I wanted to share with you that I just completed a major milestone, my first photo zine. I'm a photography enthusiast, and photography was always kind of a meditation for me, a practice to help me be present in the moment. Most of the time, I am shooting intuitively, and this zine is a collection of photographs from my mindful photo walks over the last 2 years. With this zine, I would love to express how grateful I am for your work and how much I appreciate that you offer other photographers a platform where they can show their work. Having closed my zine, I hope you might consider an upcoming Mail Time segment. Warm regards, Ingo. So Ingo, this is absolutely beautiful. I love the way that you printed this very nicely and then hand stitched it together. It's really cool. And I also love the fact that, you're talking about work that matters. And then when you present it in a way that has a handmade feel to it, I think it definitely lifts the whole thing up. And I hope that what you guys are getting out of this stuff is that there is a time and a place for monumental work and big projects like we saw earlier with Ari's book. And there's also a place for just small statements like this. I love the fact that it's a collection of images. They're well composed. The color is excellent. You've got a couple quotes in here and it wraps up. This is very well done. It's a small statement, but you talk about work that matters. And, I did that video more than a couple of years now, but it was kind of a benchmark video, and maybe it's worth revisiting at some point, because basically the bottom line is that the world really doesn't need more photographers. There are plenty of images out there. We're assaulted with them all day long. If you ever look at Instagram, they get you into the doom scroll. It exists for one reason only. It's to manipulate your time and show you a lot of images and videos and things like that. What the world does need, though, is it needs work that matters. And I guess it's a little open-ended on what I mean by that, but it can matter to you, it can matter to somebody else, but work that requires a little bit of effort that's not made just to feed the content machine. And so I think that maybe that is an important thing to bring back in the current day and age, and I think you've done it wonderfully here. I will link up to Ingo's work below. If you have a chance, I think he might be selling this, definitely get a copy. This is a beautiful little zine, so thank you for sharing, Ingo. All right, I've got a couple more projects I want to share with you. This is really cool because it doubles as a photography book as well as a series of postcards. And then I've got something that is very handmade and lo-fi. But real quick, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor this week, who are the awesome folks over at Squarespace. How easy is it to build an amazing website in a matter of minutes? Squarespace has you covered. It's dead simple. Head over to Squarespace, hit Get Started. You can start by selecting from an impressive collection of customizable templates, or you can do what I do, build your own. Something unique because, you're not like other websites. Give your site a name. Next, you can build your homepage. We'll start with a few preset layouts just to get us going. Want to sell products like books or prints? Well, you can feature those on your homepage. Create a few more sections if you want. Let's also give it a color palette. There's a whole bunch to choose from, and just get us started. We can change this all later. Next, let's select the typography choices. Welcome to your website. Everything is set up and it's all ready for you to customize. Squarespace is built on Fluid Engine, the next generation of website design. Select Edit, and Fluid Engine allows you to drag, place, and resize any element on the page. You can snap these to a grid, you can make them float on top of one another, you can freeform however you like. You can even preview and adjust how the site looks on either desktop or mobile. The layouts are independent. Of course, you'll want a portfolio for your work. Creating an image gallery is as easy as dropping a folder of images on your web browser. Once uploaded, you can drag to resort, customize the look, and Squarespace writes all of the code for you. Everything just works and it looks fabulous. Want to sell your own prints, books, or zines? Squarespace has the capabilities to not only set up your online store and collect payments, but they also give you all the tools that you're going to need to be successful. Managing shipping and payment options, manage your orders, and engage with your customers. They even give you the tax tools that you need to keep things organized and stay compliant. You should try Squarespace for yourself. It's absolutely free, no credit card required. Just go to squarespace.com/AOP, sign up for that free trial. If you decide Squarespace is right for you, I can save you an additional 10% on your order by using offer code AOP on checkout. That's right. The code is AOP. So stop procrastinating. Go build your website today. And I want to give a special shout out and thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Okay, so next up is this project that comes to us from Margaret Kester. This is called Nostalgia, and Margaret also sent me this cool postcard, which I really love, with a picture on it. I'm going to read you a little of her note. It says, "Dear Ted, my name is Margaret, an artist from Minsk, Belarus. Your channel has been a constant source of education and inspiration. Thank you for the profound work that you do. I've just published a small run zine called Nostalgia. I believe that the core ideas might resonate with you and your community. It's an attempt to hold on to what is disappearing. Shot on black and white film in post-Soviet spaces, the project focuses on liminal places and objects charged with absence, where the grain of the film becomes the texture of the memory itself. Driven by a need to create tactile objects inspired by my grandfather's handmade albums, this scene is a very personal journey that seeks a collective visceral resonance. Thank you for inspiring so many of us to look deeper. Sincerely, Margaret." Okay, Margaret, a lot to talk about here. I love this. This is really cool. I love the idea of nostalgia. I like your comment in there where you said the idea of the film grain having a part in the memory that's associated. But I think even more importantly is your printing technique on here is so cool, and it's so enforcing of the concept that you're coming up with here. It looks like it was kind of done on a Xerox machine. You're using yellow paper throughout, which contrasts the cover. This is hand-stitched, by the way, which I absolutely love. And, you know, when you have a lo-fi printing quality like this, like I said, it furthers your concept. But like, you know, when you consider like Ansel Adams and zone system, and when you get all these rich tonalities with all these midtones, you don't. You have two zones. It's black or it's white. This impacts the photographs that you can choose for something like this. And I think you've done a really wonderful job. And I also want to speak to this because this is important too. We live in a contemporary day and age where we have a lot of technology that is available to us. And so, for instance, I can get on the internet, I can upload a PDF, and a printer somewhere can do a full color reproduction of it, and they'll send me a bunch of zines, and it's cheap, it's easy to do, and it's obviously cost effective, which that in itself is of zine culture. But for those of us old enough to remember the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, zines back then was simply a way of being able to print and produce something that you could distribute to get an idea out. It could be a photo zine, it could be a literary work, whatever it was that you wanted to do. It could have a serious message to it. And in those days, the cheap way of doing things, because offset printing was so expensive and still is today, is that things were done on Xerox machines. It was a very punk rock attitude towards the art of the book, so to speak, or the art of the magazine, so hence the name zines. And so this kind of reminds me of a lot of that, and it's really cool to see you get back to that. And the reason I'm saying that is because, you know, when I teach the zine course, a lot of students opt to do the more contemporary, highly produced, slick color works. And there's nothing wrong with that. It looks great and it's affordable, it's easy to do. But to see somebody go back in time a little bit and do something that's a little more true to the original aesthetic is really cool. I love handmade stuff, and I'm glad we've had two of them today. So Margaret, this is awesome. I will link up to your work below. You guys should check her out, get a copy of this. Great work. All right, so next up is another clever project. This is called Daddy Take a Picture. This comes to us from Mehmet. Demirci. There is no note included with this, but I will read you a little of the intro text, which says, "When I first held a camera in my hands back in 1992, I never imagined that this magic box would impact my life so deeply and that I would eventually build my entire life around it. Another thing I never imagined was the idea of having children with my beloved wife. The book that you are holding is a product of the moments I've shared with Denise and Neva. It came to life through their guidance, whether it was a lizard that they spotted during a visit to the park or a rotting pumpkin that they carved for Halloween. I captured these moments through their curiosity. Wanting to see something different from my usual work, I used the Hipstamatic app for this project. And it became an incredibly educational experience for me seeing the world through the eyes of a child. Working together during the photo selection process was a true joy. And the person who deserves the biggest thanks for beginning this work is my dear wife, Nekla, for allowing me to be a father and for bringing two beautiful souls into my life and for sharing this incredible journey with me." I don't know if you guys noticed this from the video, but this entire book is essentially one page that's perforated and folded. Each one of these images ends up becoming a postcard. And I think that's a really cool way, reinforces the concept. You've got text on the back of each one of these with captions the photo. Man, this is a really cool idea. And earlier we were talking about the idea of work that matters. And I was explaining that that could be a broad definition. It just needs to be work that matters. Matters to who? Matters to you. Matters to somebody else. Work that has a place in the world. And I think that there's nothing more beautiful beautiful than celebrating your children and your family through a project like this. I think this is really cool and it's really well done. And I love the idea that you've worked this into this metaphor of book is postcard. I'm sure there's a service that does these, but I think your content is absolutely perfect for this, and I really appreciate you sharing. So really awesome work. This has been an awesome video today, and I appreciate everybody who sent something in. I look forward to many more in the future. If you guys have any questions, drop them below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, later.